I found my girlfriend's assault on a porn site. I'll never unsee it. I've never told anyone this story. Not friends, not family, not even anonymously until now. I think I've carried it for so long that it became a part of me, like scar tissue around something I could never fully process. But something triggered me the other day, an article about illegal videos and exploitation online. And suddenly I couldn't sleep. So here I am. This happened over a year ago. Back then I used to watch a lot of porn. I'm not proud of it, but it was part of my routine. Stress, boredom, late nights. I didn't like the high budget stuff. It felt fake. I gravitated toward amateur content on smaller sites. Grainy camera work, shaky audio, that kind of thing made it feel real. That illusion of authenticity is probably why I kept going back. But what I didn't realize was that real doesn't always mean consensual. That night, I remember I was just scrolling like usual. No particular plan, just zoning out after a long day. I came across a thumbnail of a girl who looked exactly like my girlfriend. My brain didn't want to connect the dots. It was easier to assume I was mistaken. The title was gross, something like cheats on boyfriend for cash. It made my stomach turn, but I still clicked on it. I don't even know why. Maybe because I needed to prove to myself it wasn't her. But it was her. And she looked vacant. Her eyes didn't focus on the camera. She moved like she was underwater. Something was very, very wrong. I felt this tightness in my chest, this overwhelming dread. Then the guy behind the camera asked her a question. "What's your boyfriend's name?" And she said my name. That's when I felt my whole body go cold. I didn't even know how to react. I just froze, like my mind couldn't catch up. My first instinct was confusion, anger, betrayal. Like, why would she do this? But the more I watched, and I hate myself for watching as long as I did, it became crystal clear this wasn't cheating. This was rape. She wasn't there willingly. She wasn't there at all. Her body was there, yes, but her mind wasn't. She looked drugged, disoriented. The man in the video moved her around like she weighed nothing, like a doll. She flopped, barely able to hold herself up. There were bruises on her arms. Her voice was slurred. She answered questions like she was reading from a cue card underwater. It was like watching someone you love die in slow motion and not being able to do a single thing about it. I closed the tab. I think I was in shock. I just sat there staring at the blank screen, shaking. My hands were sweaty. My heart was pounding like I'd run a marathon. I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was going to throw up. And then I cried. I've never cried like that before. Not when my granddad died. Not when I broke my arm as a kid. This wasn't just sadness. This was heartbreak, rage, helplessness, shame, guilt, all at once. And underneath it all was one devastating thought. She didn't even know this existed. The video had already been viewed over 1,000 times. I reported it. I didn't know what else to do. I submitted it to the revenge porn helpline. I flagged it on the site. I even emailed their admin contact. I couldn't sleep for days. I kept checking to see if it had been taken down. Eventually, after a few days, it was. But that's the thing about the internet. Once something's out there, you can never be sure it's really gone. The worst part, I hadn't even told her yet. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to look her in the eyes and say, "I found a video of you being raped." How do you say that to someone you love? How do you explain that you were the one who found it? By accident, yes, but still, on a porn site. But I had to. I couldn't keep it to myself. When I told her, it broke her. She cried so hard she couldn't breathe. She kept saying, "No, number," over and over, like a chant. She curled up into herself on the floor, and I just sat next to her, helpless, useless. She kept apologizing, and that crushed me. She said she didn't remember much from that day, just fragments. She had gone to what she thought was a modeling interview. Some guys messaged her on Instagram about a private agency that helped new models get professional headshots and representation. She was skeptical at first, but said they sent her a decent-looking portfolio and offered to meet at a rented studio downtown. She remembers walking in and being given a glass of water before the interview. After that, it all goes blurry. She remembers being asked her age, where she was from, if she had a boyfriend. She remembers a bright light, a camera on a tripod. And then, bits and pieces, being touched, being dragged, faces she couldn't focus on. And then, nothing. She didn't go to the police back then. She was terrified. She thought no one would believe her, that they'd assume she knew what she was getting into, or that she was just doing porn and regretted it later. That she had no proof, no texts, no emails, just a burner number and a hole in her memory. I didn't push her to report it. Maybe I should have. But in that moment, it didn't feel like my place to force her to relive that trauma in front of strangers, especially when she was already blaming herself. We sat together for hours. I held her while she sobbed. And then she asked me, "Do you still want to be with me?" I didn't even let her finish the sentence. I told her none of this was her fault, that I loved her, that the only people who should feel shame are the ones who did this to her. I meant every word, but I won't lie to you. It changed everything. Not between us. Our love didn't vanish. But a shadow followed us after that. Intimacy became hard. Trust didn't, but comfort did. Certain touches scared her. Loud noises made her jump. She stopped smiling with her eyes. I stopped watching porn, completely. Couldn't even open those sites without feeling sick. And for me, I never fully healed either. There's a part of me that still sees that video when I close my eyes. Not the specifics, but the feeling. The helplessness, the disgust, the horror. I think the worst part is that someone uploaded it. That a human being, if you can call them that, watched what they did to her and decided it belonged online. Like it was content. Like she was nothing but a click. Sometimes I wonder if the people who watched it knew, if they saw the way her body sagged, how she couldn't speak clearly, if they knew they were watching a crime, or if they just didn't care. I hate that I'll never really know if it's gone for good. I hate that she'll never get justice. And I hate that the people who did this are probably still out there, doing it to someone else. But we're surviving. Somehow. Some days are good, some are bad. We talk more now. We hold each other longer. We never take our time for granted. I guess I'm writing this because I need people to understand what's happening out there. What really hides behind those thumbnails. What these sites don't show you when they slap on a fake title and serve it up to horny teenagers. If even one person reads this and thinks twice about what they're watching or helps someone report a video or checks in on their partner, then maybe it was worth writing. She's more than what they did to her, and I will never stop reminding her of that.